What's up YouTube, it's your boy Barcode, I'm back with another video. Today's video will be a guide on how to gear. We're going to talk about some gear sets, what sets are better on who, the best way to gear certain individuals, and the best way to optimize your gear. After you watch the video and you love it, hit that sub button, hit the like button, hit that bell dingy dingy thing so you know when I post a video. Let's get to it. This is kind of like my own Fix My Account series for myself. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to strip all my heroes, all their gear off, and I'm just going to show you how I personally gear my heroes, which heroes to gear first, because that's important. How I gear them optimally, like using the managed gear and showing you how I do that, looking up certain stats and everything like that. And then we'll go into the sets and what is best for certain characters. You should probably do this every 2 weeks to every month. Strip all your characters' gear. This is because we're farming dungeons, farming endless trials all throughout this time. Yeah, your character might have 95% crit with 220 crit damage and 4k attack, but there could be different optimized gear sets that you can use to get to 4300 attack with 99% crit rate and 280% crit damage. So this is why I always strip the accounts. It just makes things a lot more cleaner. You can gear up the heroes that you use all the time first, or where you prioritize farming first. Gear those heroes up and move on. Okay, enough explanation. This is how you gear. First, you determine what you farm first. What's your main priority? Is it PvP? Is it dungeons? Is it farming glyphs? For me personally, it's Ashe, but for you, it might be Queen. Personally, the first person you always want to gear out is your farmer. If you can correlate that with the dungeon that you farm, that's even better. So I'm going to gear up Natalia first, and I'll show you how I do so. First, you want to know what gear set you want to put on the hero first. For me, I want Natalia on curse set. Anyone that has some kind of gimmick with their basic attack typically should be on curse set. Okay, so first I check on the set and I go to cursed. I always start with the bottom three, and I always want, like, I already know I want attack, crit damage, attack. So in the boot, I go to main stack, attack percent, and I have none. So then I go to the necklace. I see that I have 3, and really with nukers, you need crit rate subs in every single piece of gear. So I go to secondary stat and go to crit rate. I do have 1. Oh look, it's attack 50%, crit rate 6%, crit damage 14%. It's the best I got, and I need a 4 set for curse, so I'm going to put that on there no matter what. Typically, I try to fill all 6 places with the curse set, and then I look at each piece and see what the worst 2 pieces are, and I get rid of that. So for example, I'm on the ring, I want crit damage, so I look at that first. There's only 1, and there's no crit rate, so I'm going to put that on there for now. Now I'm on the top 3 spots. First, I go to crit rate and see if there's any there. There's a bunch here. Just so you know, it orders out the substat from the highest from left to right. So as you can see on this left side, there's a 12% crit, 11, 7, 6, 5, 5, 4. Did you know that? Anyway, this piece of set is really good. 12% crit, 11 crit damage, 14 attack. All 3 good substats to have on a nuker. I go and check the other ones to see if they have anything good or even any unleveled ones. Like this one is attack and crit rate. That could be useful in the future, so I'm just going to click the lock button up here. But I'm going to go ahead and throw this one on because it's by far the best substats out of all of them. Now I'm on the helmet. Again, I click on crit rate as a secondary stat. 3 come up, and I just see which one is the best. That's 17% crit rate. The rest of the substats suck. This one's 6% crit, but also 13% crit damage. So we just need to mentally note this, because if I go over the 100% crit rate threshold, then I want to come back and switch out to this one because this has crit damage and this one does not. But I'm going to use this one now because the main goal is to get to 100% crit rate, or as close to it. Alright, last but not least, the sword. I'm going to check the crit rate, and then I'm going to see the actual crit rate percentages on here. 6%, that's gross. All the rest of the substats stuck too. I mean, this one has 21% health, but I'm going to use that on like some kind of tanky curse character that I want to build. So make sure to X that out. And this is pretty much what I'm going to use is these 4 sets right here. These have the best option. Oh, yeah. But I'm still going to put the highest crit rate and other substats possible on here. This one has speeds and precision, which is nice for a damage dealer. So I'm just going to put that on there. This is 5 pieces of curse, yes. But I'm hitting change and having it on here so that I can look back at what she has. Now I can go in and finish the set. Now you have to think about the offset, what you want. Natalia guard is really nice on her because it gives her that positive effect. She gives herself attack, so you don't really need an attack buffer. So let's see what kind of guard sets I have. There's a 6-star guard with crit rate, which is nice. But let me first check to see if I have like an attack percent on my boots, because that's the one that's missing, and I don't, so I cannot use guard. So then my second option would obviously be warrior. You can also check your raider sets too. Honestly, like that's what I do. I check different sets just to make sure what would be better, right? Go to the boot and go click on main stack attack and look for your best, which is going to be on the left hand side. I have 3 6-stars that are maxed out. That would give me the highest percentage, right? And there's 2 warrior, 1 raider, right? So let's look at the first one. 50% attack, 11 speed, 15% crit rate. That's the highest crit rate one so far. I'm going to go here, and that's 10% crit rate and 22% crit damage, which is huge. The Raider boot only has 14% crit, so I'm going to just take out that Raider because I don't need it, because I already know I'm going to go with one of these 2 pieces of gear. Now, crit rate is more important than crit damage, unless you're dealing with like a Zaatlux or something where you don't need crit rate. It's a 5% difference, and my main goal is to get the highest crit rate possible, because if she doesn't crit, it's pretty much a wipe and ash anyway. So I'm just going to put this here for now. If I can get my crit rate higher, then I might switch back to the other one. Now, I have all 6 pieces lined up. I need to now look at my stats and see what I'm lacking. Obviously, I'm only at 74% crit. So I need to find my lowest piece of gear that has the lowest crit on it and increase that. You can hold left click on the gear over here to see the actual gear that's on them. I have 6% crit rate there, which I'm pretty sure that's the lowest one. The helm has 17, that one has 12, but other good substats too. 6% crit rate on the necklace, which is bad. Hopefully I can get a different piece of gear to switch that out, but I need these 4 curse sets for her to work. I mean, she doesn't necessarily need to be on curse, but it's just nice for her to be on curse. So let's see if we can find a high crit rate sword in the warrior set to complete this double set. The highest crit rate I have on a sword in warrior set is a 5 piece, and 16% has 18% crit damage. If I use that piece, she'll have 84% crit. This looks like currently the best situation I have. Is 84% good enough crit rate? I don't think so. It's not like Element Advantage has crit rate bonus. So you could go with this set and these stats, or you can downgrade from Cursed and find some better crit rate gear, or you really downgrade and go with a Rage set. I could make her a full warrior set, get her 212 more attack, but 33% less crit damage with an increase of 8 crit. You could do a damage test and see what the difference is for you to determine what set you would want. Or in this instance, you got to think about who else will be good on a curse set that you're going to be using that's also a nuker. So this is why I'm changing Natalia to a full warrior set, because I have someone else in mind that is also useful in cursed. Now, because gear removal is always free, knowing a certain set and what its stats are is a huge advantage to you. I wish we could go into gear manage and actually swap between 2 heroes. Like if I put like a different hero right next to Natalia, I could swap her gear into his gear quickly and automatically, please. But anyway, because we can swap gear for free, I have this curse set with really good stats. I'm talking about single target damage dealers. You know, I'm talking about Andre, I'm talking about Jacob, I'm talking about, those type of damage dealers, right? Ones that will benefit off of curse set. They're all different elements, fire, water, and wood, right? This is for guild boss, this is for other reasons. Gotcha 101. So I put these 3 heroes in the same category and technically the same hero since they're different elements. So all 3 of these people, like in my instance right now, it's Jacob, Andre, and Arendelle. Unless I use them in the same team at some point, I'm using them for element advantage and I'm putting that curse set on them. I switch it out whenever I need the other damage dealer. These are all very good heroes on curse set. They all have some kind of rage mechanic, some kind of bonus turn mechanic. These are the characters, the basic attack gimmick characters that you want to put cursed on. So this gear set right here, it's a cursed and broken set. This will go on Jacob, Andre, Arendelle, any other single target nuker or basic attack gimmick nuker that I would ever use until I get better gear. Now, Avira and any other type of AoE damage dealers. Heroes like this definitely benefit from an Avarice set. I mean, obviously, attacking over an area gives you bonus damage. Now let's level up our boy Zaatlux. Zaatlux is by far the easiest to build. That's why I kind of save him for like 3rd or 4th. You only need 70% crit because of his passive. So I know by looking and resetting all my gear, I know there's 2 pieces of gear that is really good for him. And that is going to be this one right here, the 50% attack, 10% crit rate, but 22% crit damage, right? And then there was this one right here, which is 21% attack, 5% crit rate, and 20% crit damage. These are the pieces of gear right here where you want to notice and think about, okay, it's low crit rate. Who do I put that on? My boy Zaatlux. Hey, this is the best gear I can get on Zaatlux right now. Almost 4k attack, 71% crit, 150 speed, 230 crit damage, decent stats, but I really only use Zaatlux for like glyph farming. So he's not like number 1 on my list of things. He's a great character. I just need my gear elsewhere. Do you have a 6-star Zachary that's just sitting around with no gear? Try him out on an Avarice set. It's actually not that bad. Alright, healers, how to gear them. They don't need to be super duper fast. Only time you want some kind of healer or support to be fast is if their ultimate or their second skill is used no matter what happens to your team. Slow healers include like Blackhorn or Rodira. Blackhorn can be slow. Unless you manual Blackhorn, you want them to be fast so you can manually drop that totem. Other than that, make them slow. You need to see what the enemy does to you and then you heal that up from that. Now in regards to like Connor or supports like Joseph or anyone who uses a spell on auto as a support or healer, then you run them with some speed. Like Connor, for example, any of your bad like warrior gear or rage gear or whatever damage dealer gear that you have and it's rolled into bad substats for a nuker, these are pieces of gear for Connor. This boot, for example, is a speed warrior boot. This is for his shield obviously, but it's got 15% attack substat with no crit rate sub. It's got agility, defense percent, and defense flat. A good Connor speed boot. You want him to go first and fast because of his shield and attack buff to go before your nukers. This rage ring, attack 50%, but with a health substat of 21%, purely Connor ring. 50% attack again, another 22% health substat, and 13 speed substat. Connor ring. Obviously, we're not going for the rage full 4-piece set. We don't need Connor to crit. We just want high attack for shield and heal. We want high health and defense, and high speed. So these are my Connor stats. 2800 attack, 14k health, defense 1200, 1300, speed 191. I feel like this is a really built well Connor for my free-to-play gear. I'm not farming dungeons like speed runs and getting multiple pieces of gear quickly. This is good enough for Tulpa 12 in my opinion. Alright, tanky healers, especially HP based ones that are based off their HP, right? So we run them with as much HP as possible. I like to run them a little bit slower because of how his totem works. He'll place the totem if there's debuffs on your team, or if your team needs heals. If you go before your enemy, he might not place that totem because your team might not have any debuffs or healing available. At the beginning of the next round is when the totem cleanses everything. That's why I run Blackhorn slower. Alright, 17k health, 1400 defense, 132 speed. I like him a little bit slower. That's pretty much his base speed, close to it. Slow but tanky, that's how I like him. Tanky damage dealers. These are the poisoners. These are the HP based monsters like Ricard. Really just depends on the type of monster it is. Obviously, someone like a poisoner like Santis or Valuk, you want curse set and you want it to be tanky as possible. I always try to get a good balance of HP and defense, especially when you have Hackrin and you got the defense bonus plus the HP bonus of his skill. So currently I run Santis since she's 5-star on a cursed guard set. It's HP percent in the boot and defense percent in the ring and the necklace. The main reason I run guard is so she survives the first wave of the ads, even with with Hakrum's bonus, they can get bonus attacks. She's only 5-star. They can get super lucky and target her every time and die. It saves my wipes. For health and defense for Queen 12, I kind of shoot for like 15k health and like 1500 defense. That's really the main goal, I think. But with her being on guard, I don't see this being a problem, especially when there's 60% focus, which I enjoy. PvP units like Virgil, super easy to build. This goes for Virgil, this goes for Winstrex, this goes for Kyle. Get that Raider set, get that speed main stat, right? Get that speed main stat. Let's get it, let's get it, get it, get it. I don't have a Winstrex, so I have to use Virgil because that's what I have. But this is the stats on him. 232 speed, 71% focus to get that silence off. Hopefully to go first. If not go first, then at least silence people after the Winstrex goes. People like Auroch who do damage based off max HP, you want to build with as much crit damage as possible. William, for example, needs to be faster than your nukers so that he can get that defense break off. They can do their thing. And then he does the counter attack on your team. Ricard, HP base damage dealer, highest HP you can. Hakrin, defense, 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 and speed. Bleed and ignite characters like Serena, Scarlet. Just run on full warrior. That's who they do their damage with ignites and bleeds. Maybe not like characters like Helmar, Gajar who detonate stuff. It just depends. Everything is situational. But that's it for today's video. I'm going to be gone this weekend. Maybe I'll try to post something from my phone. I don't know. But if you like this content, you know what to do. Sup, like, thingy bell. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.